something a little different this weekend. I have come down for the first time to Gamemore, which, as you can see, is a Oregon Wargame convention here in Albany, Oregon. We're just south of Salem, I believe, Salem, Oregon, south of Portland, here. And this is the first time I've been to this convention. A lot of folks from the local Seattle scene come down here. This is, I think, the 4th or 5th year they've been doing this convention. And I thought I would just do a quick walk around and do some footage of what we're playing. I am scheduled for the next couple of days to be playing North Africa, Africa Corps versus Desert Rats. This is SCS North Africa. We're doing all 4 maps. We're doing the entire Operation Compass campaign start, and we've already set up and gotten underway. But thought I would do a quick video of what's going on. Looks like Napoleonic War is getting set up.
Getting set up.
A classic. Got some Triumph and Tragedy. Can't go to a convention without Triumph and Tragedy getting played. Here's the room, essentially, what's going on. Here is North Africa. We've already started, and in fact, the Brits are off to a pretty decent start here. They've taken Sidi Barani and Buk, moving in towards Bardia, pulled the Italians back. I'm trying to cause some losses on the British player, but we don't have the Germans in yet because we're starting in December of 1940. We're just about to wrap up the first turn. We've run out of supply. This SCS game is kind of interesting because you use supply units, which are these you can see here, to make activations on a turn, and that determines how the sort of opponent follows. So it gives you kind of a nice sense of initiative. British players been spending supply, and I've been taking free movement activations because I don't really have the strength to counterattack. This poor guy, the 1st Libyan division here, he's going to be out of supply at the end of the turn. I've been trying to move him to get out of there, and actually, yeah, he's going to be stuck. The first time I played this, I do love SCS, and I think this one is the one that I've been most excited to get to the table because of its activation system. And it is all 4 maps of the North African theater. We are spread out on this table, and we'll be playing this for the next couple of days. I think we can make pretty good progress. I suspect we'll be done probably sometime midday Saturday. We're all set to go. But that's not the only sort of quote-unquote monster game. We got a game of the last Blitzkrieg going over here. They are 2 turns in. 1.5, yeah. German breakout underway.
SS breakout.
Oh yeah, look at that. Headed towards the northwest.
Antwerp.
Yeah.
It'll just be a +1.
Cool. This is one that I want to get to the table and play at some point at a convention. I do love BCS. There was a game of Alliance happening over here. That says wrapped up and is concluded. And we've also got Königsberg 45 from Revolution Games and 3 Crowns. It's a fun ship pull World War II game. Russians trying to break through here on the flank. It looks like they've actually penetrated pretty.
They have.
Yeah, nice.
But it's a little late.
A little late. How far are we in the game? Turn 8?
Turn 8.
Yeah, not many activations left to reach your goals.
But I've taken out a lot of his HQs, so, and most of his independents.
Oh, nice.
So.
Nice.
Well.
Cool. I like to see that system played. We got some great battles in the American Civil War. This is the Battle of Shiloh.
Yep.
And Into the Woods, yep.
Into the Woods.
This was played locally at our club for several months.
We tend to like the smaller ones.
Yeah.
Seattle? Up in Seattle. Nice. And I think we got By Swords and Bayonets over here, which is the new GBACW along with the designer, Alan Dickerson, Stigler. Did some small scenarios here. This is being sort of billed as like a nice intro game for learning the system, which they are doing right now. Got some OCS, Baltic Gap. Soviets on the way down the left side of the map over there. Love to see OCS played. So a lot of big war games being played here, even though it's not a huge convention. Although we are still here on Thursday, we're going to get more people showing up. Swap meet's in full swing over there. I actually found a copy at the swap meet of a game that I've been looking for quite a long time because it's very, very old. 30 Years War, Europe in Agony, 1618 to 1648. This is from GMT Games circa 2001. The game designed by David Fox and Michael Welker. You may recognize those names. David Fox, designer of the recently covered Banish All Their Fears. Michael Welker, developer of that game. This is one that I've been looking for a while, and it's kind of got mixed reception online, but there's so few games about the 30 Years War, especially at this scale, and I'm super interested in playing this, and you know, it's still sealed, so you really can't beat that. and I would love to give this game a shot, give it a play, see what I think, and then compare it when it comes out to No Peace for 30 Years, which is the game about the 30 Years War using the No Peace Without Spain system from Compass. So I think that'll be a nice side-by-side, but I'm really happy that someone was selling this, and looking forward to seeing what it's all about. I love this cover, too, by the way. One of, I think, Roger McGowan's best covers for GMT. It is just so... the scale and scope and the color palette he used was quite good. So anyways, that's Gamemore. We'll have more coming soon. All right, we made a lot of progress today.
And after you were slagging off the poor MG units, ended up, I think, maybe winning the game.
Yeah, well, but it's possible. We are laughing because of what happened here. So we are entering the July of 41 turn. So we've made about a third of the way in just half a day of playing here in North Africa. It's a quick playing game. It's a lot of map space for a very small number of units, but that is the North Africa experience. So I am the Axis. As you can see, Rommel and 21st and 15th Panzer have shown up. And we have arrived at Tobruk and the Allied position there, far ahead of schedule. We managed to race up here. Just the Allied supply situation isn't good. He's had some very unlucky rolls, and that's what we were laughing about. I did manage to... he was never able to maintain a defensive perimeter. I managed to get these units inside the anti-tank ditch around the fort. And because of that, he's in kind of a bad situation here where he's trying to hold this line, but he's not fully secure around the fortification. So I've got Rommel and I've got Miletti's Italians, Miletti managed to get half of the 10th Italian army out of Bardia and retreat it back this direction. So we've been able to successfully get ahead of the game in terms of counterattacking the British, and we've got a lot better units, but he's in a fortified positions, and it's not looking good. And what I've got to do, I have to wait until this track is built into a road in October. So I've got 4 turns until I can connect my supply line around Tobruk to continue east. Because what I really want to do is come attack the British over here at Bardia, but I can't because my supply line will not reach that far if I don't want to be spending valuable supply units. So I've got to just kind of maintain this siege situation here for 3 months before I can start to move off units to the east. And maybe I'm trying to keep them honest. I might try a couple of times to bust in, but I don't think it's probably in my best interest to do that. So we're going to continue tomorrow, and we'll see where North Africa takes us.